Fernando Mendez, chiropractor, Brooklyn. So I've been in touch with a lot of people in the last couple of days about a change I'm going to make in my office. I work both Saturdays and Sundays, and I've done that for like over a decade since I moved my office to my home space. But now, when I first started, we were homeschooling our kids, and it gave me actually more time to be with the kids, because what I could see in those mornings, I could have the afternoon off, but what I could see that morning was like a full day's work. But now the situation's changed, obviously, with my kids in Pennsylvania, so I'm going to change the office, and it's nerve-wracking, and but it just does seem like to be what has to be, and it is a little bit exciting to have a weekend again, especially with the kids. And I'm still going to be in Brooklyn 4 days, so I'm still be providing care to people. So it won't be that much different, except I won't be as accessible. And I was thinking, man, maybe I should raise my prices. I'm here on the weekends and stuff, but I didn't want to raise my prices because it was really through my price, I try to communicate something. The message doesn't get across, seems that often, but the message is, hey, get it often. You need it. That's why I keep the price low. And by keeping it, it is my hope. At least, if I raise those prices, it'll make it impossible for people coming regularly, or make it much more difficult. So I try to keep that fee low so they can get in. And I think that was the more important part about making the change in the office, is keeping myself affordable so people can get in, even though the hours are different. And that is all I have to share tonight.
All right, would anyone like to ask Don Fernando anything? Anyone? Go ahead.
When are you starting the new hours?
January 6th, Three Kings Day, Day of the Magi. So, Epiphany, yeah. So I'll have I'm going to end up with 2 weeks off because it's just no other way to start that schedule otherwise.
Anyone else like to ask Don Fernando anything?
What's the new schedule going to be?
I'm going to be there Monday through Thursday, pretty much all day, but not Friday, Saturdays, and
Stand over here
Sundays.
so I can see the screen. A little more, Fernando? All right. Would anyone on Zoom World like to ask Fernando anything? All right. Anyone else here?
I got one.
Go ahead, Phil.
So, why are you changing this? Just to have more time with your children?
Yeah, I mean, right now, we were more time with my children. My wife also has a job out there now. She wanted to get back in the workforce now that the kids are at school. She's actually the school secretary out there, so she's working full time. I'm here working, so we were not. We've done it for the last few months, and it's not. There's something missing when you just see each other at night. And even though I was going to have an extra day, the weekend is going to make that much. Sabbathing with my family. There's nothing you can replicate that. The Sabbath with your family. So.
Amen.
All right. Go ahead.
Good reason.
Can you and Brian coordinate that you guys are not off at the same
We already
time?
coordinated. When I was going to make that decision, I said, Brian, look, I think I got it, but is Evenson? Is this going to work out for Evenson? That's what we said.
Hustle.
We asked AI, and AI gave us the answer.
All right, here comes the week to go.
Clap for Don Fernando. By the way, I'm sorry that with the buzzer,
No, I know.
the door is not working.
Every day.
So we have to run down and let the person in.
Every day there is a...
It's all something. All right, the floor is open. Whoever would like to come up.
Good for you.
Anyone?
Go.
Phil Chimay?
Good evening. Thank you. This is an honor and a privilege to actually be here at Self Center. And I will make it my mission to attend monthly.
Let him sit here.
Something happened last evening around 5:30. I got into a car accident,
Oh,
and I was waiting on Southern State Parkway to exit. There was a long line to exit, and there was a car behind me. And unfortunately, this 25-year-old boy was speeding rammed into the car behind me, and obviously she slid into me. I have a little whiplash, but been taking care of that. Got my 2-3 adjustments already. I'm feeling much better. But I did notice that when I got out of the car, the gentleman that precipitated the accident, he came running out, screaming, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Crying hysterically. "Are you okay? Are you okay?" I said, "I'm fine. Please, please, slow down. Take it easy. I don't know if you're okay," because he was high on adrenaline. And when you're high on adrenaline, you could have a broken leg and not even know it. And so he's screaming, he's calling, he's crying, he's everything. And I said, "Please, calm down, calm down." Then the people that hit me, 3 17-year-old girls in the car. They're all hysterical and crying and everything. I said, ladies, take it easy. You're walking, you're talking, you're coherent. Anytime you can walk away from an accident, it's a good accident. There's a life lesson to be learned, and in about 10 years from now, you'll look back and you'll actually thank this situation because now you're prepared, God forbid. If you have another accident, you know what to do. So please just don't worry, the car could be replaced, you can't. And it was amazing that in the past, when I got into an accident, I would always think, okay, what's the lesson in it for me? I didn't even go there this time. I just immediately went in the service mode. What can I do to ameliorate the situation and assuage their fears? And so I did notice that was a lot more fulfilling than trying to realize or try to extrapolate out what is the meaning of this accident for me. But now that I have time, I will think about it and I will come to an answer. But it was the reason why I'm talking about this is that if we come from a service mentality as opposed to a self-serving mentality, that's a lot more.
Wait, we have an exciting one.
That's right.
We do, eh?
Wait till you see it, Phil. Wait till you see it.
Where's the camera?
It's right here.
Oh, no!
I fell.
But stand here, stand
Oh, no.
Edward X. Young.
Yes, there's the camera. There's the camera.
here. Yeah.
Hi, Phil.
Hello, Edward.
Yes, it's good to be back. This is Edward X. Young. Good to be back. It just so happens for the past 6 months or so, every time there was a meeting here, I was on the road or out of state. I've been all over the contiguous USA.
Let's hold our own meeting.
And but now I could relax more, and the Christmas time especially was good to get back here. But I could probably use a decent adjustment too, because I drove most of my time all over the country. I do all these Trump rallies, Phil. I'm surprised I didn't see you there. But I mean, driving that much, it burns up my car, but also my back is not been the same. It's getting old too. But it is good to be here, and I felt it was necessary to be here at Christmas time, especially on this cold day of isn't this the first snow we've had in like 2 years? I don't think we got any snow last year. But I am happy to be here, and Christmas isn't the same as what it used to be. Last year I lost my best friend the day after Christmas. The year before that I lost my father the day after Christmas, and 13 years ago I lost Susie just before the Christmas holidays. So it's good to be with good people here. Happy. I'm speaking mainly because, although I got to admit, I got to put my life together now. I'm really deep in debt. I owe more than I can pay off. That's not a good place to be. But I got to be part of history, so I'm happy with that.
Anyone else like to ask Edward X. Young anything?
Where in the U.S. did you get to?
Let's see. I got up, I drove most of them. I flew to one. Flew to two. I went as far as Wisconsin, as far north as Maine, as far south as Florida. pretty much all those states in between. I didn't get to any of the West Coast rallies I wanted to. I really wanted to hit a Texas rally, but when I was prepared to do it, they weren't.
I'm on my
having it.
phone. Yeah.
But a lot of driving, and I'm worried that my car's gonna burn out with lots of miles on the car. And not getting the kind of miles per gallon that it used to. But like I said, I wasn't just attending these things, I was on the news a lot. People probably saw me in the news. And I think I did my part to help do more than just vote. And so it's good to be able to relax a bit now, but I kind of don't know what to do with myself exactly now. Although tomorrow I got a movie premiere. One of my movies is having a premiere in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Emmaus.
Emmaus. I didn't pronounce it.
Yeah, by Allentown.
Yeah, I'm at the Emmaus Theater at 1 o'clock in the afternoon tomorrow. A science fiction movie I acted in.
Anyone else like to ask Edward X. Young anything? Anyone?
If you come to the Emmaus Theater, it's at 1 o'clock. It's
Go ahead,
called
Brian, real quick,
Energy in the
Yeah.
Room.
Brian.
Yes, wait,
Just that, Brian.
yeah.
Brian, just a real quick, you guys freeze and then unfreeze, and
Yeah.
freeze and unfreeze. We didn't hear anything that Edward said.
Yeah,
It's just a lot of people's phones, but my phone's acting crazy, something's going on.
Because I was at Porch Jersey City, suddenly there's no, the GPS went nuts.
I don't know how to fix the freezing.
I'm coming down Route 9.
Joanne said that it's probably due to the snow.
Oh, maybe, 'cause
I know.
it's just not
I don't know,
working.
I'm coming down Route 9 and it's telling me I'm going the wrong direction down the road. I'm like, what's this talking
Well,
about?
we'll just do the best we can
Yeah.
with it. Go ahead.
What's the most exciting thing that happened on your road trip
The most exciting thing, to here or around the country?
around the country?
Around the country, well, a lot of exciting stuff. I suppose it was, for a variety of reasons. I mean, I was really, really impressed with the New York rallies. I mean, especially the Bronx, because if I'd been in the Bronx like 5-6 years ago wearing a hat like this or a shirt with his face on it, I would have probably gotten into some trouble. But the local people loved me there, and the Bronx rally was really big. That was really impressive. But I really did enjoy getting to really meet him and talk to him for about a minute or so at Bedminster. That was a great one too.
Anyone else want to ask it anything? Ed, whatever happened in the movie Attack of the Killer Chickens that you were in?
Oh, that's my biggest comedy hit. That won some awards,
I saw it.
and I'll have to get that. It's a silly
All
comedy.
right, I was joking around. Go ahead.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ed.
Okay,
Excellent.
thank you. Sorry, I had to grab a slice of pizza when I came in.
Edward X. Young was in a movie called Attack of the Killer Chickens. It was 10 minutes and it was hilarious.
Oh no, and then they made a feature.
Oh, I helped to see
I'm
it.
the star of the feature too. It's 90 minutes long.
All right, folks, we're going to have a party and watch. So the floor is open and whoever would like to speak.
Zoom looks like it's working again.
If someone from Zoom wants to speak, we can use it and listen to you while it's working.
It's the drones, Brian. It's the drones.
You mean bees or
Yeah. I've seen them.
anyone else?
I've
Anyone
seen
here?
them.
Alex.
Hey everybody, Alex Wilkovitz, chiropractor from Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. Fernando was talking about some big changes that are going on with what he's going to be doing with his practice. I've been thinking a lot about that myself. Thought about making some really structural changes, and I decided to really not make any. I'm just going to, keep going straight ahead. I think, I had a dream last night, but I think 2025 is going to be a very, very exciting year. I think a lot of things are coming together, and I think it's very exciting. I'm glad you're going to be back in Pennsylvania on the weekends. That'll be great for you and the family. Beyond that, it was quite a task to get here tonight with traffic and mass transit getting out here, but everything went great and it's wonderful to be here. It's good to go.
Okay, anyone want to ask Alex anything? Anyone?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How's that town pronounced again?
Emmaus.
Emmaus. Okay, I don't want to look like a fool when I go there and mispronounce the town.
Anyone else want to ask Alex anything? Anyone? All right, Alex.
Well, I'll ask. See any drones out there in Pennsylvania?
Yes,
Yeah, there will be.
actually right off of 80,
Yeah.
2 nights ago.
Yeah, but
And at first I was like, maybe that's just, like one of the mountains with, like a beeping, for planes, and now it was an actual drone there.
got me
So-
concerned.
I think, and it was a pretty decent sized one.
Yeah, they're big.
I don't know if it was one of
Yeah,
those,
they're up.
but there was one, yeah.
Anyone else want to ask Alex anything? All right, young fella. Excellent. All right, anyone else want to come up and speak? Can the Zoom people, is it still freezing or has it stayed,
They're all moving now.
stayed fluid?
It's
Okay.
it's still freezing.
Okay. All right. Anyone here want to say anything?
Get up.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, wait, camera's over.
No, stand over there.
Yeah, it's actually.
Look straight ahead.
Camera's right there.
It's on tripod.
That's the one you need to look
Hi,
at.
everybody. Mark Johnson, chiropractor, Red Bank, New Jersey. It's really great to get here. It's pretty icy down where I am, and the highway was pretty clear. I guess mostly they salted everything. But in practice lately, I've been noticing a lot of crazy stuff with people in their lives. And as much as I talk about adjusting people and them feeling their physical and their spiritual bodies connecting, they've been a lot of pain. I've even experienced it in my own body. A lot of stuff. My hands have been going through a lot of crazy things. But as people are coming in, I think people are making a lot of physical shifts in their body, and it seems like it's a lot of emotional and neurological stuff that I see with people coming in a lot of pain, just really crazy stuff going on in their lives, and not just the election, but just what's going on in the economy and other things.
It's gonna happen, I could just feel it.
Mute yourself.
Guy, mute yourself. Oh,
Anyway, so as much as I've been trying to tell people chiropractic's not about getting rid of your back pain or doing anything to just focus on that, people have been coming in with that. So I needed to start to look at that even more with people and work with them on that basis. And I had a case come in this week where this woman was in intense pain. I mean, she was just shaking on the table and crying, and I mean, a lot of stuff going on in her. And I just kept thinking, okay, I got to stay centered and just focus on adjusting her the best that I can. And I saw her as much as I could possibly this week, anyway, as many times as she could get in. And I just felt like there's like a whole change going on in humans right now. A lot of this humanity stuff, and there's a lot of scary things going on with people in their lives. And a lot of people in their lives, I've noticed lots of people that come in, a lot of people have passed on, and a lot of new babies are coming in. So it's like a big exchange going on in the human side of my practice with all the people. So it's been kind of an interesting lesson for me to look at. And it's funny, as I'm getting older, I'm starting to see different things with people in their patterns and in their lives. And when I'm going through certain things in my own body, I have to be more patient with myself, because I want to keep working out and doing things to keep myself in shape also. So it's been a big spiritual thing for me. I know I'm going through. I keep praying and just connecting and praying and connecting. But I thank God for chiropractic every day. For me to get adjusted, I try to get adjusted about 3 times a week, and also get the people in as much also as they need. Be available for them, and available and affordable, so that they can actually afford to come in as many times as they need to. And that's pretty much all I got.
all right. Anyone like to ask Mark anything? Anyone? Evenson.
Yes.
You speak of making the connection between the physical and the spiritual, how can the patients assist you in that process? Is there anything in particular, any advice or any guidance on how to help?
Well, what
assist
pops
in
up
that?
for me is just learning to let go, because when you're in that kind of pain and you're really suffering a certain way, it's hard for them to let go as much as they possibly need to. And I think if everybody's, I had an accident a couple years ago, so I can relate to how much pain these people have been through with my own body going through it. So as much as you want them to be able to let go and just try to embrace what's going on, and knowing that there's a lesson in all of that also. It's just like basically making them feel comfortable and safe, that they can let go and do whatever process they need to get through. I feel like that's probably, I don't know if I answered what you wanted. Is it good?
Anyone else like to ask Mark?
So you feel that a good percentage of people are experiencing more pain than usual, or
Yeah, a lot of,
because I've been feeling it personally. I just thought it was me, but a lot of people, there's something going on,
yeah,
something in the ether, or whatever.
right.
Anyone else like to ask Senor Mark anything? Anyone?
Yes, Al.
Do you broach the subject of connecting the physical and the spiritual when you have somebody that's like in acute pain? Is that something you actually like talk about with people, or do you just let it happen on its own?
I've been doing that more.
What? Talking
The
about
connection of it, and that there's a lot of lessons in what they're going through,
Okay.
because same thing in my own life, and yet I also want them to be real with themselves and be able to be describing what's going on, because that's helpful for people sometimes, to be able to just vent, because nobody's listening to them in pain, and they come in because they know, I'll listen to them. And so I try to just like listen to that. And it's so funny you say that, because I was trying to think about how can I speak more about the connection and the philosophy of chiropractic and the beauty of it. And when these people are in so much pain and shaking, I just go, okay, just back off and just get quiet and just do my job and go with it like that, and just help them be as safe as they can in the office.
All right, very good, Mark. Excellent. All right. Anyone else would like to speak? Maybe we try another Zoom person. Sir?
Yes, hi. I'm going to try to talk low. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, I had a few experiences in the last 2 weeks that are interesting. One, I learned a new technique where part of it is really working on the coccyx. And that's the tailbone, if you're not a chiropractor and you're not familiar. And I remember learning in chiropractic school that like if you yell at a dog, they tuck their coccyx. And the coccyx has a lot of emotion around victimization or being yelled at or rape or things like that. So we learned the coccyx, you know, we work on each other in the seminar. And I was driving home and my butt was so sore and I was so furious at the person who worked on me. I was like, what the hell was she doing? I feel like she ripped my skin open. And then like the next day or 2 days later, I could actually see like this huge dark blanket was lifted off of me. And when I could see it very clearly, and I was like, what is that darkness that just was lifted? And the message I received was, it was the mindset of victimization from something I witnessed as a child, violence I witnessed as a child. And that anchored into my coccyx. And it was such a big healing for me. And I also felt like an initiation to help people more with their coccyx. And I know I'm speaking to the choir, but I don't know, for me, I was like, oh my God, these experiences really anchor in the body. Like, it's crazy. It still wows me. Like, it doesn't get old for me. It's like
Ryan Patrick Gordon, chiropractor, Jersey City, New Jersey. I scribbled it. I'm going to read a quote that I read last week. This is from Jim Bradman, May 15, 2015. Jim Brown was a chiropractor in upstate New York. Some chiropractors did not like Pasquale at all because he was a threat to them. He did not threaten them, but who he was and his presence was so dramatic and so dynamic, and he was such an advanced human being, if you were not prepared to make yourself better, you had to hide. Now, I personally witnessed that on many occasions, and I saw a lot of people be very disrespectful with Pasquale. But getting back to the part about those who were threatened by Pasquale, you had some people come into chiropractic just as a business. It was just solely a business model for them just to make money. They're the ones who were threatened by Pasquale because they knew the people who started aligning themselves with Pasquale and the wisdom he was sharing would not use their services anymore and they'd go out of business. That's why he was such a threat to them. And the other thing is, chiropractic, it's a calling for me, and you're guided to serve people, and just know that when you do that, God's going to provide all your needs. And in this world, what we're going through, especially right now, there's a lot of twists and turns that we're going through right now, and it's causing a lot of confusion and anger and pain. And it's like a heaviness in people's auras. So what chiropractic does is, it helps people to slow down. It helps them to realize they can do things in small, sequential steps. And they can look at themselves and see the heavy things in their aura, which is to me what Sora was talking about. And they could really get the wisdom that they need to do the work. Whatever it is they need to do, it's different for all of us, to get rid of those stumbling blocks, that heaviness in our aura that's holding people back. It's like we're unwinding. And I know Nancy Brown pretty well. We talk about the word pushback. And to me, people say, oh, pushback is like something is like coming again, trying to stop you from doing what you're doing. Well, no one can stop me from doing anything. The only way I can stop myself is a pushback is being distracted. We have many distractions coming at us. This person says this. They want you to take sides. They want you to argue this side and this side. And to me, those are all distractions taking me away from the fact that I'm God's image. Once I set myself in God's image and just focus on peace, then I'll have that around me. And it's like, and if people around me are interested in working with, I'll just say evil things if you want to use that term, or things that are not, want to take you away from thinking you're God's image, by me focusing on saying, yes, I am God's image, and chiropractic helps me do that, those people just stay away from me. And chiropractic gives me that calmness, and I can see it, that a lot of people are getting so caught up in all this stuff going on in the world, but for me, I just have to focus on peace. And when I do that, that's really how I save myself. And that's, to me, is how other people can help themselves as well. So for me, that's the spirituality of chiropractic. That's all I have to say. Anyone want to ask me anything?
Hey, Brian?
Yes.
Did you say Jim Bradman was a chiropractor or is a chiropractor?
Is a chiropractor.
Oh, it sounded like you said
Maybe
was.
I did say was, but he is, present tense, still living
Okay.
in upstate
Just
New
make-
York. I don't,
Just,
he was in Batavia. I don't know where he is now. I think he moved his office, but I don't know where.
I'm just making sure he's still alive.
He's still alive and doing very well. Phil Chimay from New York.
That was wonderful, Brian. Thank you for the insight. But one quick question.
Sure.
Can you do that with family members? Can you not be distracted when loved ones pull you one way or the other?
Oh yeah. Remember, I'm one of 6 children. And believe me, Phil,
But can you do that just as easily as you can with total strangers?
It's a little harder, but I do it. I like to practice, let's just say that.
All right, thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else want to ask me? I got one more. Anyone else want to ask me anything?
You been noticing anything different or strange in the?
People are really worked up, like what Mark was saying. I've seen people coming in with severe issues. I mean, I've always seen, I've been doing this for 20 years, but it's like, I was talking with Sarah, the same thing, it's like, it all seems to be so many more.
Accelerating.
Yeah, at once, and like, I think what Mark just used the word, it is an acceleration. But we're all gonna make good out of it. We're gonna take this and make it a good thing for us. So that's it for me, it's clap for BPC. We got does Nancy or Bob want to say anything? Nancy Brown, Florida.
Yeah, hi. I wish you were all here with me. It's so nice here. Anyway, I want to kind of piggyback on what Brian was saying and what some of you have alluded to. This month, been a corker. It's been a lulu for people. People are anxious, confused, and tied up in knots. And I'm usually having a slow period as a psychic in December, but this December there have doubled the amount of people calling me, and it's amazing. The people are so out of whack, like crazy. So you're not just imagining it, it's really happening. And what I'm seeing around me is that people are exposed to, I want to say a lot of brainwashing through different philosophical systems and narratives and ideas that are going around, and people are reacting all over the place. There's just, depending on what news channel you turn to, depending on who you're talking to, there's another narrative, there's another set of beliefs that people kind of put out there. And what I feel about chiropractic, and I think Brian was saying it, I'm just saying it in another way, is the authenticity of the relationship with the chiropractor. The chiropractor seeing you as the holy embodiment of God. And that is profound. That is life-changing for people. And it's also a great relief from all the different philosophies that seem to be bombarding people on any social media or any news channel or any place you go, or even on a public bus or anything. People are just talking crazy ideas now. I also feel that sometimes we have to go through these periods. It's like, if you know the tarot cards, it's like the tarot card of the tower that falls apart. And sometimes things have to fall apart before we can reconstruct them in a purified and higher spiritual level. And Pasquale spoke about that a bit. So I just, want to commend everybody for chiropractic, because I think it's something real that people can relate, that they can be in that moment with you, and for that moment know the holiness of the human experience. So that is very profound. Second thing I just want to mention, and I always say this, especially around this holiday season, we think about giving to charity and poor people, and there are all these charity drives. I don't know about you, but I get
They're all frozen.
chiropractic to poor communities who really would be needed. If you look at the world right now and what's going on in the world, there are, I want to say, at least 8 points of crisis. And I specifically think about the children in need whose little systems are growing up so distorted because of what they're living through. And I just hope
Sneeze.
Yeah, I'm frozen on it. Sneeze.
You stunned him again.
All
I
right.
don't know, did anybody, oh, there, we're back on, did you hear me at all?
No,
Yeah,
Most of
we
it.
heard most of it. The last like 45, last minute we didn't, 45 seconds
Your
to a minute.
summary, your summary we didn't hear.
yeah, maybe she can do it?
We stopped off at, the last thing you spoke, we heard you was chiropractic helping people in poor communities. Oh, it's frozen again.
Must be a Zoom problem.
No, it's a GPS.
It is what it
Just
is.
suddenly tells me on different roads. It
We
was
have
like,
to
it was
just keep
working, but it was like,
Nancy,
this isn't
the
Jersey.
last thing we heard you say was chiropractic for the people in poor communities.
Yes, and that my prayer for this holiday season is that chiropractic can be available in the world, everywhere, to people who need it.
Nice. Anyone like to ask Nancy anything? Anybody? Anyone? All right, let's give Nancy a big hand. What we got? Bob, you want to say anything? Senor Watton? He's frozen. Frozen.
Ability and spirituality into people's
Where's Bob? Do you want to say anything?
Are you gonna ask Nancy any questions?
We did. No one raised their
All
hand.
right, I'll ask you a question.
Oh,
No, and he's speaking.
Ah.
I was asking Nancy that she had mentioned that chiropractors, bring some semblance of spirituality and normalcy in this crazy, everybody's.
Oh, jeez, the Zoom was just out.
I'm just gonna cut it, then we'll switch the people here and then go back.
You don't have any trouble seeing or hearing us though, right?
No, we freeze for them.
All right, oh, we do, all right.
I'll just wait.
They're actually talking to each
Center.
other.
Like,
Okay, thank you for the clarification.
All right then. We're gonna have to end because we're not hearing any of it, so we're just gonna clap for Nancy. All right. So Bob, if you want to say something, let's do it now while it's still working.
I think this meeting is a perfect example of if you're,
Yeah.
If you're frozen, you're frozen.
Oh, frozen. It's a crystal. It's a crystallization.
Cryptocurrency.
Give it a moment, then we're gonna have to. We'll have someone here speak, then we'll go back.
for some reason I never noticed the OS in the middle of the word, which is the bone. You guys can hear me?
Now,
Now we could.
Okay.
We missed the second you started. It froze.
Oh, so I spoke about the cross,
Yeah.
and within the word you have OS there, which is OS means the bone,
Yeah.
the bone.
osteo, yeah.
So the cross with the definition of the word normal, you have normal means a carpenter square, so you have the 90-degree angle, which in a cross you have 4 90-degree angles that make up the cross, and encoded within that word is the bone needs to be normal. So then I guess we'll cross over where once the bone becomes normal, then we'll cross over to be connected to the spirit, the light. That's all I have to say.
Anyone like to ask Bob anything? Anybody? Anyone? Anyone? I like that, Bob. But anyone?
where is Bob right now?
He's in Queens.
Okay.
All right, let's clap for Senor Bob Martin. So now we're gonna go to the featured speakers. Are gonna
Another
be,
stunner.
so the featured speaker tonight is gonna be all of us. Just get a chance to say this. Give it to us in like 90 seconds. At the most 2 minutes. What you think about self-center and just chiropractic, I mean, Pasquale, whatever you want to just talk about, something like that. I'll start. So once again, Brian Patrick Corrigan, chiropractor, Jersey City, New Jersey. I would just like to talk about, the thing I learned from Pasquale was, someone asked him a question, he goes, this system is wrong. He's like, there's a man with a crooked hat, walking with a crooked cane and a crooked road, he lives in a crooked house, representing this system is crooked. But chiropractic is helping us realize that we're not crooked, that we are aligned with God, and that's really making that shift in the world. Because there are so many people who want to keep us looking over here, but we need to keep looking, being in the center. So we're watching this system just fall apart. If you want to argue and get upset, go ahead. I'll just keep talking. But the way it's really going to work is, for me, self-centered is just about bringing
Right
us.
angles, right?
Self-centered is about bringing us together. I know it keeps cutting in and out, but we'll just do the best we can. All right. So now we're at the point where each one is going to talk about self-centered, like 90 seconds just to say what it means to us. Does anyone else want to say anything? Because I'm done. Anyone else want to say anything?
Sure.
All right, then we'll have you come up here. 90 seconds, Ed.
Edward X. Young again, yes. It was a rough night. It's very, very cold out there, and there's a lot of traffic is out of its mind with the Christmas shoppers. But I haven't been here in a while, and I felt I needed to come back because this place, self-centered.
They can hear you. They can hear you guys.
Okay.
So.
Whether it's here or whether it was out in Brooklyn, there's just something about this group and this place, and I feel Pasquale's presence where it revives me spiritually. I've been having a tough time recently. I felt I had to come back here tonight. I could have stayed at home and relaxed, but I needed to be here. It had been too long. If I'm away too long, I start to feel like I'm falling apart. This puts me back together.
All right, Ed,
I
thank
hope
you.
this
very
goes
much.
on always.
Thank you very much. All right, anyone else? Come on, you want to say something?
Come on.
You don't? All right, does anyone else here want to say anything? Fernando.
All right, Fernando, chiropractor. Kind of going on the same theme we've been talking about. Well, actually, a few weeks ago, I was talking about, when I think I was the main speaker, how chiropractic was around even when it wasn't really recognized as chiropractic. Obviously, Dee was the founder. He kind of formulated it or got it organized or gave us our start. But when I look at self-center, I go, Pasquale gave us so much information. We're such a small group, and how are we going to get this? How are we going to get this information out? I don't even know how. And you worry. You go, I know my kids get this stuff. I go, well, all these other people who are not getting it, even though it's here and we're offering it sometimes. And it made me feel bad, or felt like I have a responsibility to keep doing what I'm doing. And I go, well, I don't think I can. I feel like it's not going to happen. Like, we're not going to get the message out there. But I think chiropractic's been around from before we were recognized as chiropractic, and it'll go forward regardless of a person or what we will do. It will manifest regardless. If people have to rediscover it, they'll rediscover it. But I do think that what we have is so valuable, and as long as we keep nursing it, when the time comes, when it's the time for it to sprout, it will sprout. And we just have to make sure we're taking care of it. I think, obviously the people come down here and we meet, we talk about it. We're still keeping that alive. And as Pasquale would say, when the season's right and that frequency hits it, then you can't stop. It's like a tree grows in Brooklyn. That thing was going to grow. It's going to break the cement, and it's going to grow. Nobody would bet on that tree, but it's going to come out regardless, because that frequency comes in and it shakes all that tree that it has to grow, and the concrete won't stop it. So that's what I have to share.
Excellent. Excellent. Anyone else here want to say anything? Well, open up the clap. We're stop it.
Clap.
Anyone? Alex.
As far as the self-center, I first came to Brooklyn in September of '98. And after that, I kind of always associated the self-center was on 31st Street off of 4th Avenue in Brooklyn. And then about a year ago when it was that we were gonna be having the meetings here, it was like, then I was kind of like looking at it as self-center is here. Now I realize self-center is where we're at, our group, and we share certain things in common. That's such a beautiful thing, and that really grounds me. I don't even know what I would be doing as far as like with what I'm doing with chiropractic if I didn't have you guys. So that's it.
Thank you, Alan. Excelente. Anyone else? Then we'll go to Zoom, get you guys up first.
Being at Self Center, I had to be here tonight because I felt like Pasquale always talked about fellowship. And at the end of our meetings, when he put everything together, we'd all go into that room and eat food and make lots of jokes. And I feel like he gave us such a beautiful side of chiropractic that you're not going to see out in any seminars. You're not going to get that out in any of these workshops and CE credits, because I go to a lot of them because we have to get credits. But I just feel like he was like a father to all of us, and he gave us so much love that it was really interesting this week when I was getting adjusted. The person that was adjusting me, I mentioned Pasquale's name, and she said, "I feel him here. He's working on you right now through me." And I actually felt like there was a reason for me to think about him, and I remembered when Nancy was at Self Center in Brooklyn, and we all were in that room, and he was going to come and whisper something in our ears. I'm waiting and I'm listening and I'm waiting and I'm listening, and all of a sudden it was like, wow, I got thrown out of the chair and up in the air and came back down, and he gave me an adjustment. And I feel like he's there for all of us, and I have to remember that even more, that we can tap into that anytime we want to. And that gives me a lot of comfort knowing that he's still involved in all of us. And again, being with you guys, wherever Self Center is, it's all fellowship to me. And it makes me feel grounded with you, and being able to take this, what we get here, and being able to go back to our practices and spread the word of what we get, I think is a beautiful thing for us to have. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Anyone from the Zoom world want to say anything about what Self Center means to them? Nancy?
Just real quick before we freeze. I miss Pasquale like crazy in the physical universe. I love all the people from Self Center. Love you all. I also feel it's a spiritual anchor point in the world, which is out of control, out of whack. And I also remember doing a reading over in Pasquale's place, and he came through and said that Self Center is not a physical place, and it never was a physical place, because it's in our hearts, and it's in all the spiritual realms and everything that we bring down into this world. So that's it.
All right, anyone else from Zoom world? We got Sarah, Bob, or Phil? Bill Shimei.
Self Center changed my life for the better.
Wow. Anyone else? Bob?
I went to a self-center meeting in California before I even knew about Pasquale or self-center in Brooklyn. And then when I took a quarter off from chiropractic school, I met Pasquale at Ernie Landy's, and I invited him to come to the school to speak. So at that point, I never even still went to a self-center meeting in Brooklyn, but then there was a self-center meeting at Ernie's that night, and Pasquale got up and spoke last. And he came out to the school, and when he was staying with me in Hayward, this is 1995, I remember him in the kitchen in the house I was renting. He pulls out a notepad and he writes down the word hope with a capital H, and he took the H and then he put it at the end of the word hope, and then he changed the letter, instead of the H going across into a diagonal, into an N, so it said open. And he was talking about when you have hope, you know, many things open up, but you know, just in this moment when you asked the question, so many things opened up. Meeting him and going to Self Center. That's even how I met my wife, Connie, was through Self Center indirectly. And you know, I'm just grateful for him, for Self Center, for all the people that have come through there that I've known over the years, because like it was a great fortune.
Thank you, Bob. Sarah, you want to say anything?
Well, I'll say that I really admire and love and respect everybody that comes here. It feels like soul, spiritual family. I feel like I could count on anyone here, and you can count on me too. I was telling Brian today, I was like, it's amazing in chiropractic. You know, just before I found Self Center and even after, how many people use the spiritual language, and they say, I pray for you and this, but really they're like stomping on you to get ahead, and it's not authentic. And when I found Self Center, I was like, I can't believe this really exists. This is what I was looking for. And just like Fernando said, I can't believe more people aren't here. But, you know, I just trust that we keep going forward, and when people are, I don't know, when the time is right, more people will be here. But I'm always kind of looking, I'm like, are you part of the crew? Because I want that. You know, it's a lot of, I love your friendship together, and I want some more women here too. So, but I love all of you. I respect you so much. I wish you many happy holidays with you and your family. Much love to all of you.
All right, everyone, so we're just going to close out by saying this. 2025 is going to be a super strong year for every single person on this meeting and any chiropractors who are truly interested in serving people. So we're going to end on that, and thank you so much. I know it was a little wild, but it worked out for the best. So thank you, everyone, and we'll talk to you. Bye.
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!